Hey everybody, it's Lynnea. Today I am jumping right out of summer and diving headfirst into fall and autumn. It's my second favorite time of the year, probably right behind Christmas and winter, and I am so excited to finally be able to make some fall cards. It's the end of August, so I think it's socially acceptable to make them now. So I'm going to use the Pumpkin Patch stamp set. But first I'm going to start out by creating a super easy striped background panel. So I've taken some pieces of wide purple tape and I'm just going to mask off a 1/2 inch diagonal stripe. And I'm starting here by blending on some twiggy brown ink. I love the Atelier inks because of all the things you can do with them. Not even counting how you can watercolor with them and stamp with them, but with ink blending, you can really make these super light, or you can build up layers of color and get really saturated colors. So you can see here, as I'm going, this now is the Bee Sting yellow, and I'm kind of working in reverse rainbow order from brown to yellow and then orange and red. The color goes on light, and I am also using a light hand. I'm notorious for using a heavy hand, but I didn't want to have any streaks because this is going to be my full background piece. So I'm starting light and building up that color, and look at the intensity of that orange that you can get. And if I kept going, it would turn into an even brighter orange. But since I'm kind of doing fall, I wanted it to be a more muted orange, and especially next to that twiggy brown. And because I didn't really clean my purple tape, I kind of bled some of that twiggy brown ink up into the yellow, so I got that nice mustard color. I'm going to keep on masking and blending. If you find that your purple tape is not sticking to your ink, you want to make sure that that ink is dry. Your tape, or really any masking tape, won't stick to wet things, and since the Atelier ink stays wet for a while, you want to dry these in between your ink blending. I'm finishing up here with the Marilyn Red, and you can see how if you go lightly with this ink, you'll get a pink shade. The more you build up, you're going to get this nice, vibrant red color. I used some liquid pixie dust and I covered these stripes with that liquid pixie dust. It's hard for me to catch in the light right now, but in the end I'll make sure to catch that ink and the shimmer in the light for you to see. Here's the large image from the Pumpkin Patch stamp set. I'm going to use some Detail Hybrid Blackout ink and ink this up and stamp onto a piece of Neenah white cardstock so that I can do some Copic coloring. I need to re-ink my ink pad, so I kind of had some areas that didn't stamp well on the first try, but that's okay. I'm just going to go right in and ink over that and stamp again. Now let's color up these cute little pumpkins. I left some of the coloring in, not all of it. It's very simple coloring, no deviations from how I usually do, except that I did add in a third marker. Usually I just do 2 color blends. This time I'm going to do 3. And so I have YR04, Y38, and Y17. In the end, I do end up coming in with a little bit of YR07 just to deepen up the orange color of the pumpkin. It was turning out a little bit too yellow for my taste. This big pumpkin I'm going to color white. So I'm using W0, 2, and 3 to color in my white pumpkin. I like to use these warm browns for things that are outside because I feel like things are outside and they're growing in the dirt, so they're maybe a little bit dirty. So when I'm coloring whites that are outside, I usually try to stick to the W's. Just adding a little bit of shading towards the center and then along the left side of each of those little sections of the pumpkin. I just love white pumpkins. When we go to the pumpkin patch, I like the ones that are big and flat and white. So I thought that I would color this one to be my favorite kind of pumpkin. And then I'm just going to color in some of those leaves and the blossoms as well. I trimmed that out, leaving a slight white border with my scissors, and I positioned it onto my background where I want it to be, held that down with a piece of purple tape, and then I'm just going to chop off the overhanging part. I'm not going to waste that piece though because there's a piece of the leaf there. I'm actually going to just roughly trim that out. It doesn't matter because I'm going to tuck it behind a pumpkin, but I'm going to add that onto my card just for a little bit of extra greenery. Then I'll flip over that piece and add it to my card with some foam tape. I used that Pumpkin Patch stamp set to stamp out Happy Fall, and I'm just going to add that onto a sentiment strip right at the bottom of that white pumpkin. I'll use my T-square ruler to make sure that is straight, And that's going to complete my card. I hope that you are ready to jump into autumn with me. I will now show this to you. I hope that you can see all that shimmer. I think you can see it a little bit better. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you again next time. Bye.